everyone, and welcome back to another nail video. This is another winter set, and I tried to do a sweater nail on this set, so we'll see if it works out. It's a bit of an experiment with dip powder because people use the paint on the sweater bits with gel polish and then they sprinkle clear acrylic powder over, and I've not got any of that, so I had to do it with dip powder. So I've chosen a gel polish that matches the dip powder that's already on those nails, so that's what the base is. It's a grey dip powder, which I will show you when I'm sprinkling that on, so that's what I'm going to use. So what I do first is I just put the Modelones base coat on the ring finger and the index finger, and then I go on with the gel polish, which is called Modelones Grey. It's one of the 16-piece collection that I got, that I swatched a while ago. I will link these videos in the cards and in the description box, so you can go to those if you want to look at all the colours, because they are some fantastic colours. They are only very small bottles. But I think if you're not, using them on people all the time, then they will go quite far. There is quite a lot in them, and they're quite thick as well, so you only need one coat of these polishes. So the base coat gets cured for 30 seconds, and then the gel polish gets cured for 60 seconds with it being a bit thicker. So after the gel polish has been cured, I'm going in with a matte top coat. This is my canny one that I'm using up. It's not the best matte top coat. It leaves sort of a satin finish rather than a real matte finish, so I do want a new matte top coat. So I think next time I do this I will make sure I do it with a more matte top coat to see if that looks any better. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I've put a little bit of the Modelones Grey gel polish on a little plastic palette, and I'm using a fine liner brush just to paint on my sweater design. And then I've sped this up because it took me absolutely ages to do it. I'm not the best at freehand, and for some days I seem to have quite bad handshake, and I did on this, so it took me a lot longer to do it than it would normally. And for some reason my long detailer brush, the bristles have gone a bit funny, so I was having to use the short one, which isn't as accurate as a long one, so that added to it not being as good and me getting frustrated. So I've got my washer on, so you might be able to hear that in the background. I'm sorry about that, and the kids are banging upstairs as well, so hopefully you can hear me. So yeah, when I've finished painting on that design, I'm not curing it. I'm just going to leave it wet. So you have to try and work a bit quickly depending on the thickness of your gel polish. This one is quite thick, so it's quite forgiving really. So when I'm happy with it, I then go in with the dip powder. And I just sprinkle that over the top of the design, and then I tap it off as gently as I can, and then I just put it in the lamp for 60 seconds. So then I just get a fluffy brush and I just brush off any excess powder, and then I just have a little look and see if it it looks alright, it looks okay to me. So I did do the other one off camera because it took too long and I didn't want you having to sit there watching me do another one that was practically the same. I mean, they do look a little bit different. I'm not sure which one I prefer, but I'm very glad that I didn't do a full nail because that would have took me forever. So then I like the way they look, but I just wanted to add a bit more, like a bit extra. So I decided to use these snowflake stickers that I've not used yet. So I've got quite a few of these. So I picked some, and I'm just putting those on with tweezers. These were really hard to get off the backing paper. I actually broke one of them. And then when that's positioned the way I want it, I go in with the matte top coat again, and I just go over the whole nail, and then I come in with the fine liner brush again, and I just sort of brush between the parts of the sweater because I didn't want the surface evening out too much, or you wouldn't see the detail. I think when people use the acrylic powder, they just leave it like that and they don't top coat it. I think that's how they do it, but I was worried because it was dip powder that it would just rub off. So that's why I did that, and I wanted to seal those snowflakes in as well. So the glitter is from Smiley's Glitter Store and it's called Gunmetal. So I just put a wet base coat on and then I sprinkled it over, and then I just cleaned it up with the clean up brush before I cured it for 60 seconds. And then what I do is I go in with the base coat again, and it takes a while to do this because I'm getting quite a lot of base coat and I'm really pressing it down quite well so that it goes into the gaps between all that glitter and it seals it all in. Then I cure that base coat and then I come back in with the Premier Gel, and this is the builder in a bottle because that's thicker, so I'm going over with that and I'm making sure that all that glitter is sealed in. And then after I've done that and I'm happy with it, and all the glitter is sealed in, I just give it a bit of a file and a buff, and then I'll be top coating it. Now I was thinking of putting some stamping or something else over the top of this glitter, but I couldn't because I just loved the way it looked on its own. I just didn't want to touch it. I just wanted to leave it as it is because I love it so much. So the top coat I'm using is the Modelones top coat, and I absolutely love the way that this glitter shines. I love it. I mean, I've not done sort of top coating time on one of the videos for a while, but I absolutely love it, the way it just reveals all that glitter. So after that top coat has been cured for 60 seconds, these are the nails done. What do you think? Obviously my sweater nail needs improvement, so I will be practicing with that a little bit, but for a first try I was quite happy, and I really love the way these nails turned out. So this is a brilliant winter look, I think. It's not too difficult, it's just more fiddly rather than anything with the sweater bit. I mean, you can get, you know, stamping plates that have the sweater design on them and things like that, but I just wanted to try this because I'd seen so many different people doing it and I just wasn't sure whether it worked with the dip powder. Obviously you can do it with dip powder, but if it's coloured dip powder like mine, you need to make sure that the gel polish that you use is going to be a similar colour. But yeah, I hope you like these nails as much as I like them. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you to any new subscribers that I've got. Thank you to all my original subscribers as well. I hope that you're loving these winter nails as much as I am at the moment. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.